So this is about KOALA and Knight's online academic learning assistance. It's mainly geared towards academic support, and it was started just for online students, although I've talked to students that were taking in-person classes, hybrid classes, online classes, and it's really meant for academics purposes and for students who are struggling. Although I have talked to some students that have 4.0. So any student can make an appointment, and whomever comes, I try to help if I can. But really, we wanted to target students who are struggling or possibly going to fail a course. So I really wanted to focus this on how I can assist faculty, and I'm open to new ideas. And if people have other things I could be doing that you think would help students who are struggling, I'm happy to hear it. But some of the things I have been doing, and we started this in July, and I wasn't really sure what students would need or what would be the most important. But three of the things that I have been doing and seem to be working, although I won't really have any really good data until the end of the semester to see if these students that use the service actually end up passing their classes, because they're telling me they're passing, but that may or may not be true. So I'll have better data after the semester is over and grades are posted. But right now, the things that I'm going to focus on for this are student outreach, study and organizational support for students, accountability check-ins for struggling students. So student outreach, this is the thing that actually Sue's on the call. This was partly her idea. She contacted me about some of her students who were struggling. And what I did was she gave me a list, and she actually grouped her list into possibly, really can't pass numerically at this point, are still able to pass, and are doing well. And so I was able to send out different email invitations through Navigate to all of these different categories of students. And in the invitation, and I should have included, I could show if anyone's interested, what the email looks like. It's really easy for them to make an appointment. They just click on a link and they can make an appointment with me, and we can discuss what's going on. And then I log all of the visits. So I can follow up with faculty to let them know these are the students who made appointments, these are the students who haven't made appointments, and I can even share what was done during those visits. So that's the first thing I kind of wanted to say that's available. Study and organizational support is the second thing. So there's a website that you can send students to. It has just basic tips about online learning, how to effectively manage your time, things that students maybe aren't thinking about during this semester, which has definitely been challenging for a lot of them. And then students can certainly make an appointment with me. Feel free to send any students to make an appointment with me. And I'll meet with them and, find out where they're struggling, what they need more assistance in. A lot of it has been organizational, and the fact that we don't have in-person classes doesn't mean that they don't have to set aside time to study for those classes and to do the work. So I've spent a lot of time with them, like organizing their schedule, going through syllabus, so they know like these are when assignments are due. A lot of this has been work with first-year students who just didn't have to do this when they were in high school. And so I'm happy to do this with them. We're actually going to be offering a 1-credit course for students who are struggling in the spring. And some of this work will kind of move there as well. And again, I log everything, and I think it's just interesting to see where I'm sending them. I have had students who are struggling with some mental health issues. And so as appropriate, I will send them to the counseling center. Some of them need tutoring help, so I'll send them to the different tutoring resources we have on campus. And one of the things that students actually asked for and was not in my plan, we're having follow-up check-in appointments, and I just don't have the capacity to meet with them constantly as the semester is going on. But I do one follow-up with them where I actually have been, for some of them, saying, okay, show me your schedule, show me when you've been studying, show me the notes you've been taking. So I'll give them some note-taking skills and things that they can be doing to more effectively study for their classes. And the feedback I've gotten from students is that is really helpful. And I think it's really just the piece of accountability. Like I have to do something concrete and show it to somebody in a week to 2 weeks. And after that first initial meeting, I'm passing them off to the peer mentors. Not passing them off, but like I give like a little sort of like a warm introduction to peer mentors so that the peer mentors do have the ability to meet with them weekly. And so students who feel that's helpful and need that, they can do that. So that's the other piece. And this, I'm sorry, I kind of already talked about this a little bit, but we do the follow-up, refer to the appointment with peer mentors after the first visit. And then students, I've had quite a few students who just keep making appointments with me because they got to know me. And so I've done, like a little bit of advising or other questions that they may have. And so that's okay too. And if it gets to just be like, I don't have, the capacity to meet with them, there's always peer mentors, or there are other, advisors in the department in DAPA.
Tara, I think one of the things that your office is doing that's so important is, especially now that students are doing so much remotely, students are doing so much asynchronously, is really helping them coming up with schedules to stay on top of their work. I love this idea that you're helping students stay accountable to things, helping them figure out how to allocate their time. It seems like my word for this meeting is intentionality, and I think we really need to be intentional about teaching students those skills because they're not necessarily coming to college with them.
Yeah, and they didn't have to do this in high school. Like I said, it's a lot of first year students. They're just really not ready for college, and they need that concrete instruction and check-in and accountability because they always had that. And I used to be a high school English teacher, so this is part of where this comes in. And so they kind of need that. And so I think this is helping to provide them with that. I didn't realize that this was necessarily what